In this video lesson, I am going to implement class person that I have explained in the previous video. Since now I have started the second part of this course, which is object-oriented programming, I am going to create a new project, which I'm going to call OP. And all the classes that I will be doing in this part of the course will be stored in this OOP project. As I have already explained, the example that I will be doing now, the class person, is going to be used throughout this section. So it is very important that you do it and implement it with me, because during these coming video lessons we are going to always use this class. So I am going to create a new class and I am going to call it person. An important observation that it is very important that all Java students follow is that all classes should start with an uppercase letter. So although if we start class person with a small p is accepted, good programming practice says that we should start it with an uppercase letter like this. So now I have created this class and I have explained person is made up of a name, surname and an age. Now name and surname are strings and age is of type integer. These are like variables. However, in object-oriented programming we are going to call them fields or attributes or properties. So I'm going to declare these attributes: string name, string surname and integer age. And that is our first class. As I have already explained, this class is like a blueprint. It's like a template. So we are defining that a person is made up of a name, a surname and an age. But we do not have an actual person. So if we want an actual person, we have to create an instance of this class. And in that case, an instance of the class is an object. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a new class and I am going to call it main. And this is going to be our main class. So all execution will start from here. So I am going to include the main method. Whatever I write here will be executed. Now let us revise a very basic thing that we have covered in the first part of this course. Let me declare a variable x of type integer. Later on in the program I assign a value to that integer and then I print it on the screen. What will happen is that if I do a breakpoint here, when we have a look at what there is inside the computer's memory, you will note that obviously we have variable x which contains 7, but if we look at the variables part here, you will notice variable x of type integer that contains number 7. Now why am I doing this? I am doing this because when we have class, it's very similar to when we have a data type. So if I declare variable p of type person, and then I do p equals new person, by executing this line, it means that we are instantiating an object of type person, and that object is being referenced by variable p. If I do an output statement here, and I just output the word hello, this line of code doesn't have any meaning. It just outputs hello. And the reason why I have included it is so that you will be able to do a breakpoint on it. If now I will run this program in debug mode, and then we will have a look at the computer's memory or the program's memory, you will notice that we have variable x of type integer which contains 7, as we have declared it here. But then we have variable p of type person that as a value is containing hashtag 88. Now I will explain the meaning of that hashtag 88 in the next video, although I can say that that is referring to a memory location. But if you have a look at this p here, we have a plus sign next to it, and if I click on it, you will notice that we have these three attributes: name, surname, and age, and these are the values that they are stored in those attributes, and these three attributes are the attributes that we have defined in class person here. Now if I stop the debug and I do e dot here, we'll notice that we have those three attributes available. So let me write my personal details. If I write p.name equals Matthew, remember that since name is a string, the value has to be in inverted commas. And p.surname equals Shwirap, and p.age equals 33. If I do the same and run it in debug mode, you will notice that p, if I click on the plus sign, now contains the values Matthew Shwirap and 33. As a side note, note that the memory location of p has changed. In the previous example, it was 88. Now it is 87. That means that the memory location where our object is stored has changed. Now, while this declaration is a class, this instance with these values is an object. And at the time being, the most important thing to do is that of understanding the difference between a class and an object. Obviously, you can do much more things with objects. At the moment, the only thing that we can do is just storing values. But in the upcoming video lessons, I will show you much more functionalities that we can do with object-oriented programming. In my next video, I am going to explain step by step the meaning of all this code together with an animation, so that you will understand the connection between a class, which is this, an object, which is declared here and is stored here in the computer's memory, and the computer's memory. So a connection between the class, the object, and the memory. So I suggest that after that you write this class person and this main class with the main method, you will move on to the next video where I will explain this code in a more detailed way.